Welcome, friends, to the Beaver Dam, and we are going to have a damn good time talking about these new Lightspeed bundles. And I want to give a word of warning. Of course, not all of them are here in the store for me because, you know, I didn't buy them all. It's hard to justify a Bad Batch Lightspeed bundle to myself when I already have 3 of them at Relic 5. So, you know. But that being said, I want to issue a word of warning. Yes, these Lightspeed bundles are great. You should buy them, as with all Lightspeed bundles. You know, we're just really briefly, if you're looking at the Bad Batch and like, should I buy this? I'm like, it's a lot of Chirotech. It's cheaper than the last 5 Chirotech character or 4 Chirotech character. Like Starkiller was $50 and came with 4 Chirotech characters. You're getting 5 Chirotech characters and you're getting a full team. They don't have an event associated with them. And so $30 seems very fair for them. On top of that, they have the Marauder that you can get, and the Marauder is pretty easy to farm, and that'll kill most GL ships. And so, yes, obviously a great deal. Of course, you have the AdRad bundles. One's $10, one's $15. Once again, just amazing value. You're also getting characters that normally would be rough to get up on the side, like Baze. Baze Malbus is one of the few pre-taunting tanks in this game. Great on Leia, great on a Rogue One, great basically anywhere you have rebels. So, you know, solid character overall, and has stopped me from using bounty hunters against AdRad once or twice before when I had low gear bounty hunters. Not as important now that most people have relic bounty hunters, but regardless, great deals. I'm very happy with them overall, and I really hope the Cup Lightspeed bundle comes out because I'm buying that one. Insta-lock buy, yes, absolutely. Really hoping that comes around. But that being said, we do need to talk a bit about your roster. Yes, your roster. Talking to you. So, going into your roster, everyone's out of Zetas. Anyone that buys Lightspeed bundles, you are out of Zetas. You know, my roster, you look at my GLs and it's like, oh, but he has all his Zetas on his GLs except for one that he refuses to put on. You know, he has a fully Zetaed out General Skywalker team. Still, I am, you know, I just put on my newest Zeta onto Seer Junda. Seer Junda's finally finished, but I still have to finish Cat. Cat's missing Zetas for my Rey team, as well as going to JMK later this year. My Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum's missing her Zeta. You know, I'm missing a lot of the Zetas that I need for this UFU team that I'm building right now. But in general, I'm just missing Zetas still. You can see right here with my Inquisitors. My third sister only has 1 Zeta on her and 1 Omicron. Like, we are all in a Zeta debt, regardless of who you are. We're still working our way through it and finishing up the teams we have. Now, why do I bring this up? Because you just got 2 new squads into your account, and are they the best squads? The answer is no. On defense, the Bad Batch are awful. On defense, AdRad is also pretty dang bad unless there's a Datacron going on. Even then, the last set of Datacrons, I still could kill it with bounty hunters almost every single time. This is easy bounty hunter food. This is easy Phoenix food. The Bad Batch is easy Imperial Trooper food. These are not defensive teams, they're offensive teams. And on top of that, I'd say they're like A tier at best when it comes to offensive teams. Like AdRad will take out an Iden Versio. He has some uses here or there. The Bad Batch, same kind of thing. They have some uses here or there, but they've kind of been pushed out of the meta. And other AdRad's not bad for Zetas. You can drop like 2 Zetas and an Omicron on AdRad, and you could have the team off the ground. I plan on going for Profundity, and I'm not even going to put any Zetas or Omicrons on this team for a long time. Yes, would I like to have them in my roster in case, like, you know, I use my Wampa somewhere else and there's an Iden Versio? Sure. Yeah, I'd like an AdRad team. Like, you know, this is a solid team, and the AdRad Jyn Erso cheese, helpful on Leia, helpful as its own team. It's helpful, but is it worth the Zetas? No, because I keep seeing people's accounts that have 3 Zetas on a Jabba the Hutt, and they're like, I'm building this new team. And it's like, no, hold up, finish what you got, work on some ships, do some other things, do some side projects, work on the things you already have Zetas on, while you build up Zetas for the characters that are important. Your GLs need Zetas. Your major teams need Zetas. So trying to prioritize these new squads is rough, especially Bad Batch. Because Bad Batch is hugely based around zetas. It's not one of those teams where, like, you know, Imperial Troopers, you drop the zeta on Veers and the zeta on Piet, and then boom, the team's basically done. You can drop the Piet zeta if you want, the other one, and then you can drop the Dark Trooper zeta if you want to, but they can come whenever they want to. It's not like that for this team. You need basically every single zeta on this team to make it work. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zetas right there on your team that you need to shell out just to get this team up and running. Even if you're to switch out Omega, who's the double zeta, for Shock T, you're still going to want the unique zeta on Shock T. And if you're using Shock T lead, you're going to use the lead zeta on Shock T. So regardless, you're kind of stuck with doing 6 zetas regardless of what you do with this team. And so it's something I want you to be aware of, is just the zeta investment, because there's so many teams. There's so many people who, you know, are sitting on a 501st that they haven't worked on at all because they don't have the zetas for this. They're sitting on a Padme team that they haven't gotten up because Padme's subpar and requires a lot of zetas. You know, there's a lot of this stuff that we leave behind. My Night Sister team was zetaless forever, and I just got them their zetas and their omicrons in the last like month and a half. And so finally my Night Sisters are done. My Night Mommies are finished, and that's great. I'm happy I did that. There's a reason that I'm going for fleets right now. There's a reason that my current big thing, journey guide. My current big thing is Leviathan, and then the next thing is going to be the Profundity, because Leviathan, Profundity, ship farms where I can focus down ships and I don't have to worry about zetas and omicrons and things like that. I can just focus down getting these amazing fleets done. And so by focusing down my last 2 fleets that I need, I'm giving myself time to finish my Night Sisters, to finish my unaligned force users with Malicos, to finish my Riva, and then I can finally work on other things, like maybe dropping something into Adrad or focusing on my next GL and that type of stuff. But for now, I'm in too much of a zeta debt to even consider looking at my Bad Batch or looking at my my Adrad team and throwing zetas into that. And it's something that I've stressed many times, and I want to stress it here as well. These are pixels on the screen. They aren't going to rust. If you buy a Lightspeed bundle, like, you can wait for the Lightspeed bundle. You don't have to buy it right now. Yes, it only lasts for 6 days. Doesn't matter. You could buy it, you know, 6 months from now when it comes back, a year from now when it comes back. You can buy it when they come back. 100%, it's not going to harm you to wait. But on top of that, if you do purchase it, it does not mean you need to jump on it immediately. If you don't have a GL in your roster, would I suggest going for Profundity now that you have the Profundity Lightspeed bundle? No. Profundity's a very undervalued fleet right now, and you probably are still missing quite a few ships that are going to take you months. So I'd rather you get your first GL than try to get your Executor or your Profundity. Profundity might be closer now, but overall Executor is the better fleet, and usually really close with a lot of the Lightspeed bundles. And then you're going to go get Jabba. That's kind of like the order of operations, is get the closest GL first, so either Rey or SLKR. I usually suggest SLKR. And then you go and you get yourself your GL fleet, and then you get yourself a Jabba. And now if you don't have a close GL fleet and you're still working on things, Jabba, then your GL fleet. So, you know, there's an order of operations here, because if you're just like, oh, look, a new Lightspeed bundle, well, I'm going to put some zetas into the Bad Batch because now I have them and I want to use them. You're going to end up kind of like, you know, it's like the, ooh, piece of candy mentality, where you're just like kind of wandering around. You're you know, squirrel kind of stuff, where you're just kind of like going around and you're just not going to make any progress. One thing after another. It's focus down a farm, focus down a farm, focus down a farm, because you'll have more fun doing it that way. It may look fun because you're like, oh, you're getting a little bit into this, a little bit into that, but eventually you'll look at your account and you'll feel like you've made no progress. And I want you to feel like you've made progress, because you are making progress. You are making an awesome account, just one step in front of the other. And so prioritize. That's the name of the game right now. That's the name of the Zeta crunch. Prioritize, and give yourself time to build up some zetas. It's 100% something you can do. I went for stuff that I already had invested first. I lifted up some relic levels on some characters that needed some extra relic levels, for instance my relic 8 JML, you know, and then now I'm working on ships to give myself some more time to finish out the last couple of characters, because I've had Riva on defense for months just because I haven't had the Zetas put into them, and I despise the team just because of the rollout of those characters. And I despise that Riva is like one of the most powerful characters in the game, because I don't like Riva, and so it's kind of been dragging my feet in getting that team up and running. But regardless, you know, lots of Zetas to put into that team, and it's rough, but once they have those Zetas, they can kill a lot of the Galactic Legends, and so instead of having them on defense, I could throw them on offense and be able to bring one of my Galactic Legends back to defense and have, for instance, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on defense with Darkseid Rey, because I have a Riva in my roster. So, you know, prioritized. That's all I'm begging you to do. Please prioritize. I'm using my account as an example because I'm one of you. I am struggling with the same thing. Please do not push Zetas into the Bad Batch before you're ready. Please do not push Zetas into AdRad before you're ready. AdRad's a little bit more understandable because you can drop 2 Zetas into the team and immediately have it off the ground. If you're wondering what those 2 Zetas are, go check out Arnold's Zeta tier list. He has a whole spreadsheet that goes over them. It's 1 on Jin, 1 on AdRad, if I recall correctly. But I don't recall the ones offhand because I just bought the Lightspeed bundle myself, and it's not a team that I've ever used. So I think in this case, Arnold might be a little bit better of authority there. But thank you guys so much for watching to the end here. You know, throw in the comments section if you were to be told, hey, I'll give you $1 for each finger you cut off, but you times it by 10 for each finger. So $1 for 1 finger, $10 for 2 fingers, $100 for 3 fingers, and so on and so forth, up to $1 billion for all 10 fingers. How many fingers would you be willing to give up? Or would you give up none? Do you think the prosthetic market is good enough that you could give up all 10 and still enjoy your life? I don't know. Throw it in the comments section below. It's been on my mind the last couple of days. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys had a damn good time, and thank you for giving a damn.